Hi, I'm Madeleine Robertson. I'm from Shetland. And if I had £1 for every time I've been asked what Up Helly Aa is all about, I'd have £17. So it begs the question. What the Helly Aa? As you all know, Shetland is a small group of islands on its own way up here in the North Sea in Weyburn Viking galleys. Stop right there. Let's turn the clocks back 200 years to the end of the Napoleonic Wars, when returning sailors with an appetite for explosives celebrated rowdily in the streets of Lerwick, seeing out the old year and bringing in the new. Do we have a graphic for that?
Hold on.
Choice. 2 decades on, tar barrels would be burnt in the streets, and as time went by, the festivities grew, with the first official Up Helly Aa taking place in Lerwick in 1881. As the years have passed, this number has grown, and now we celebrate in style, not just in one festival, but 12, each with its own unique flavour. But they all share the same 4 essential ingredients.
Ingredient 1. Squads.
An Up Helly Aa can have a huge number of people participating in the spectacle. And these are not just random people that have turned up unannounced. No, these people are highly organised groups known locally as squads. There can be anything up to 50 geysers in a squad. They're called geysers because they're in disguise. Each squad is made up of friends or acquaintances of all ages and from all walks of life, as it's pretty much a classless society up here in Shetland. There are also sometimes groups of musicians whose job is to keep the party pace going through the night. This can mean playing for anything from 3 to 24 hours.
It's never a long night because you're enjoying a tune and doers just fly in. It's great.
There can be anything up to 50 squads. And contrary to popular belief, Up Helly Aa isn't all about Vikings. In fact, at each fire festival, only one of the squads is dressed as Vikings. And this is known as the Jarl Squad, led by the chief Viking known as the Geyser Jarl. He's a squad member who served his time on the festival committee over a number of years until becoming numero uno, the head honcho, the big cheese, the main man, or woman. Leslie Simpson became Shetland's first female Jarl at the South Mainland Up Helly Aa in 2015, setting a new standard. The Jarl squad for each festival works tirelessly over the previous year, making their suits, shields and weapons by hand. It's all kept very secret. But here's a sneak peek into some of the work. A huge amount of work can go into the making of a suit, often with craftsman-like quality. And this is accomplished by squad members of all ages getting together over many nights. The suits are kept under wraps and are only revealed on the morning of each Up Helly Aa. Squad members gather at the crack of dawn to get ready. Here we see some last-minute preparations. Good to go and ready to rock, lasses. And now the daylight procession begins, with excited crowds lining the route, all mad keen to welcome the new Jarl squad and see the new suit. After the obligatory photo calls, the Jarl squad will then spend the rest of the daylight hours visiting the schools and old folks' homes in their area, so everyone gets to take part. That's the Vikings. The vast majority of participants are dressed as something completely different. TV celebrities, local characters, pop stars, monsters, you name it. Whoops! Steady there, Cyberman. These squads can have up to 30 members. The squad also contains some youngsters who help out. These are known as fiddlebox carriers and are usually the children of squad members. And in time, they'll become full-fledged squad members themselves. The squad's objective is not only to take part in the fiery bit, but to perform an act as part of the all-night celebrations, which come after that. The act is usually a short skit or dance about something local or topical or just sheer nonsense. So how do they get ready for the big day? It all starts small, with a meeting or two, in a house, or a pub, or an office, or a classroom, or a local hall. Normally, this too is a top secret affair, with acts, props and costumes being made behind closed doors.
Ingredient 2. The galley.
Every fire festival has a galley, and as of 2018, we Shetlanders have burnt 609 of them. Charlie Simpson was Geyser Jarl in 1988. He knows a thing or two about galleys.
The first galley made an appearance in 1889. The symbolism being that it was a Viking chieftain or Jarl's funeral being set on fire and set out to sea in this longboat or galley. And it obviously made an agreeable substitute for the old tar barrels.
Each galley is built specifically for that festival's Geyser Jarl. And as with the suits, they too are built shrouded in secrecy. Galleys can differ in design and structure, but usually hold true to the dragon ship theme. These are built by craftsmen and helpers who volunteer their time and skills over the winter evenings. Here we see the Scalwa guys busy on their galley, and the South Mainland builders working on theirs. The galley is painted and decorated according to the wishes of the Geyser Jarl. Painting the galley can take quite a while too, according to the different designs.
Yeah, it has to be good enough to burn.
Here we see the Delton galley, whose shields have been painted by the local school bairns. And here's the South Mainland galley, with its painter and designer hard at work on a cool wood effect. Nice one, Eric.
So we probably put in about 1,200 hours into working on the galley, and then the painters on top of that. Oh, it doesn't take long to burn. Half an hour, maybe something like that.
Well, this video can't be 1,200 hours long, so we sped things up a bit. The finished galley is usually put on display for the day before the burning, as is the bill, which is a proclamation on behalf of the Geyser Jarl, and usually contains some noteworthy quips about events and occurrences from that year.
Ingredient 3. The procession.
Definitely the most spectacular part of any fire festival is its procession. Every geyser is equipped with a paraffin-soaked torch to carry, sometimes for miles, on the way to the burning site, whatever the weather. couple the spectacle with the bizarre squad costumes, and it's starting to look quite unusual. The torches themselves are made by the torch makers, who can make anything up to 1,000 torches for a festival.
For the South Mainland up Helly Aa, we make about 600 torches every year. It's really hard work, but it's really good fun at the same time.
Over the years, they've perfected the recipe for a torch that holds its flame despite the sometimes torrential weather. It wouldn't be much of a burning if they couldn't light the galley.
Ingredient 4. Halls.
So we've finished our procession. We've got hundreds of geysers all dressed up and no place to go? Not quite. Now it's time for a party. And how? Each festival culminates in a party which takes place in several different venues or halls around that particular area. Any venue within the vicinity which can cope with large numbers can be used. Concert halls, schools, sports centres, ferry terminals, village halls, social clubs. The idea is for every squad to visit every hall throughout the night to perform their act, have a drink and a dance with their friends and family in the audience. That way, everybody gets to meet the squads. There's a lot of hungry mouths to feed throughout the night, what with the hundreds of guests and geysers. So again, an army of volunteers, known as hosts and hostesses, have come together in each hall in the nights before to cook and prepare food. Here we see them working on a local favourite, fish soup, which is absolutely delicious, by the way. Bannocks too are a staple food of festival goers, and throughout the season, thousands have to be baked and buttered. Or climbed, as we say in Shetland. Oh, to recap, Up Helly Aa season runs from January to late March, and all this is possible due to the work of the squad members, the musicians, the hosts and hostesses, the galley builders, the torch makers, the bus drivers, the painters, the bill writers, the wives, husbands and families, the schools and old folks' homes, the brass band, the pipe bands, the audiences and massed crowds. A huge proportion of the island's population all coming together to make Up Helly Aa what it is. Quite possibly the most unique and bizarre mass celebration in the Northern Hemisphere. I don't think we can follow that. Unless we burn some galleys.